Fred here, welcome back to the Gear Obsession channel, and what I have here for you today is the Jun Lang 16010 folder. What we have here is a very inexpensive knife with a very unique mechanism. How inexpensive is it? Well, right now it's selling for $6.64 on GearBest. If you're interested in this, go ahead and click on the link in the description box below. It is an affiliate link, so I do appreciate it. It doesn't cost you any more money, but it does help out my channel. GearBest did send me this item for review. This knife did come in this box, and along with the knife came this nylon sheath. Nothing special, single stitched, inexpensive nylon with a belt loop in the back that is fixed. So this knife is modeled after the Quartermaster QTR11 General Lee II, originally designed by Grant and Gavin Hawk. And like the original, this knife features the ET locking system. ET stands for external toggle, and I'll let you see how that works. You can see how it just sort of pivots back here, it pulls this rod, helps it lock in place. Works pretty neat. So you can see how this locking system is an integral part of the handle. Also, Kershaw made a Kershaw E.T. which sort of had the same mechanism, but it's now discontinued. If you're interested in the actual custom Quartermaster QTR11 General Lee that this is modeled after, you can find it in a link that I provided in the description box below. It's not an affiliate link. Right now it's running $350 at Knife Center. That $350, is it worth it, is up to you. I do see that it does have exotic materials, such as the handle being titanium, and it does have super steel for the blade. Now this knife, that only costs $6.64, does come in several variety of colors. This is the tan version. They also have a black version, and they also have another one where it's black here, and the blade is black, and then there's a little bit that's still left silver. It's made in China. It is made of a typical Chinese stainless steel, which is 8CR13 MOV, which is comparable to AS8 and 440B. Moving down here, the handle is made out of stainless steel, and this area right here is FRN, which stands for fiber reinforced nylon. Has a clip. Right here, it's a deep carry clip. However, it is only tip up right-handed only. Lots of torque screws, so it does have torque screw construction. It looks like the pivot screw is adjustable. If you look really close, it might be hard to see. Maybe if I turn it this way, you could see that there are nylon washers. Now, deploying this blade can be somewhat of a challenge because the spring that's in here, I'm not sure if you could see it. Let me bring this down. Here is the spring down in there, is very, very stiff. So I know the Kershaw version, it was very easy to get it to snap out. This version, however, I mean, you really got to have a death grip on it, and it will open with a little bit of practice. However, it's not going to close that way. You have to click on this and close it like that. As far as one-handed opening, thumb studs are right here, dual thumb studs. It's very hard because when you're holding it, your hand naturally comes up and it's holding this part right here that has to move. So, and even moving my fingers down here, that spring is so strong, it's very difficult to break this out with one hand. The only way I've been able to one hand this knife is using a single hand drop opening method where you hold it by the spine of the blade and whip it out, and it requires a lot of force to do that. So it's the only way that I've been able to one hand open this knife. Almost forgot, the closed length of this blade is 4.5 inches, and the weight is a rather light 3.5 ounces. Now the blade itself is a 3-inch Tanto blade. It has a black stone wash finish. It's a drop point, and again you can see the 2 edges here, which is why it is a Tanto. You have a sharpening choil right here, and you have a finger guard right here to keep your hand from sliding when stabbing. You do have some jimping incorporated into the handle here, and here, and here, and here. Not the most comfortable or ergonomic knife in the world. I mean, it will stay in your hand very well. However, I am feeling some hot spots right here when holding it tightly. I'm also feeling that clip in my hand. And you can see if I hold it really tight, you can see the marks on my hand. Normal people don't hold it that tight though. I hope you're seeing that this is not the most practical design, and reading comments I think a lot of people agree. However, to be fair, I did ask to review this knife. Why? Because it has such a cool, unique mechanism. It really makes for an interesting piece just to talk about and show off. I do really feel that is a big pro, especially for $6.64. I feel that it's definitely worth that. Build quality is pretty good for the price. You can see that the blade centering is perfect. When I open it, the lockup is solid. There is no side to side or up and down play in this at all. I'm really surprised because I know the Kershaw version of this had a lot of play in it. This one does not. And if you're worried about it opening or it not being a strong lock, the way that this is designed, you can see there is no way that this can fold in on itself. The only way that this knife could fail is like if that screw were to fail or something like that. Plus, even though I'm not even saying that it would close, you're holding it with the handle, which would also prevent this bar from moving. And again, that spring is extremely tight. So this is a pretty secure knife. Now let's see how sharp it is out of the box. I have not sharpened this in any way. And it's dragging a little bit, but actually it is push cutting right there. Oh, let's see, I need to try to shave. I have some hair right here. Wow, actually the way that I was dragging it on the paper was a little deceiving, because actually I just shaved all that hair off my hand. So it is shaving sharp. Another way you could tell if it's sharp is you could just sort of put it on your fingernail and you can feel it sort of hold on there. It's pretty sharp. It's probably the sharpest $6.64 knife I've ever had. Well, I must say I really have to recommend this knife. The Jun Lang 16010C. You can just read it in the title. The last letter is depending on what color, but it's essentially the 16010. The worst thing about this knife in my eyes is that it's very hard to operate with one hand, and I think you have to use 2 hands to close this. I know the really expensive ones, that spring is weaker and you're able to whip that around and you know, maybe get it to close using the same action that you use to open this, but it does take a lot of practice. I know with the Kershaw one you're able to pull it out with your finger, use the thumb stud, you're able to work that back with a finger. You ain't with this. The spring is way too tight. The only other thing I could criticize about this is it is a little bit thicker because you got a lot going on. Oh, with the more expensive versions, the flipper would work. The flipper, there is no way. It's just too tight. So, but $6.64. The link is below. The GearBest, highly recommend it. Alright, well, thank you very much for joining me here at the Gear Obsession channel. I really do appreciate every friend, viewer, subscriber, especially you. And I hope you have a great day or evening. Take care. Bye.